Like in those other games, that's she was finishing in the lane. The length of the cocks is long. You can't help it. Can't help it.
Welcome back to Odd Man Sports. I'm your host, Brandon Perna. Also, I host a show called That's Good Sports right here on YouTube. On this week's show, I will preview a new positive trend in athlete fashion. I'll present a possible solution to Jeff Van Gundy's baldness, and I will explain how Russell Wilson was this close to playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Dinks and Dunks! Well, the college basketball season is in the books as North Carolina defeated Kansas for the Tar Heels' 7th national championship. At least, that's what I assumed happened when I went to bed. And not because the game started too late for an old fart like me, but because I mistakenly clicked on the wrong UNC Kansas championship game link and accidentally spent my Monday night watching this.
North Carolina against Kansas for the NCAA championship. Playing a careful ball control game, North Carolina is off to a substantial lead.
These floor-length skirts on the cheerleaders really should have been a tip-off for me. Speaking of which, after that 1957 Classic, which UNC won in double OT, a photographer captured Kansas's Wilt Chamberlain walking off the court, being consoled by a KU cheerleader named Margaret, or as Wilt later referred to her, 3,611. And as you know by now, Kansas won, UNC covered, and Jayhawks guard Ochai Agbaji was named the Final Four's most outstanding player. And it's a good thing I didn't have a vote, because I absolutely would have voted for Jalen Coleman-Lands, despite the fact that the Kansas guard didn't score a single point in the final 2 games. But, and just hear me out. Hear me out. Thanks to 2 redshirt injury seasons, 3 transfers, and a COVID extension, this modern-day Van Wilder was playing for his 4th school in his 7th college season. 7 years at college. That's long enough to become a doctor, which is how I'm assuming Dr. J got his medical degree while playing basketball. That's right, in this era of one and dones, Jalen Coleman-Lands was like, this is free and great, and I'm going to do everything in my power to not finish. Kinda like how Sting views sex. Turning to the NBA, the Nets officially ruled Ben Simmons out for the regular season and the play-in game, making it very unlikely he'll play in a single game this year. I haven't seen an Australian no-show like this since I repeatedly invited Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, to be a part of my gender reveal party. Turns out, his lack of response was justified as he was killed by a stingray back in 2006. The crocodile hunter, though, being killed by a stingray is kind of like when OJ got 9 years in prison for stealing back his memorabilia. It's like, sure, he got his due, but it wasn't for the thing we were all expecting. In NFL news, the Rams continued their free agent spree, signing linebacker Bobby Wagner, a move the team announced with this fun social media post. And personally speaking, I appreciated the Rams' Wheel of Fortune graphic, especially after the team's previous attempt at something similar backfired. Pat, I'd like to buy an S, but also did less okay this? Philadelphia Eagles owner Jeff Lurie, in an interview this week, said his biggest regret was not drafting Russell Wilson in the second round of the 2012 draft. And not to be outdone, fellow team owner of the Colts, Jim Irsay, issued a similar statement.
You know, like I always say, the one thing I missed out on was Wilson.
Which probably sounds insane considering the year Russell Wilson was drafted, the Colts selected Andrew Luck first overall. But you have to remember, Jim Irsay's priorities are different than other NFL owners.
You know, like I always say, the one thing I missed out on was Wilson, the volleyball from, you know, Castaway. It only went for $18,000, and somehow I passed on it.
Wilson! Wilson, where's your... Money talks. Cowboys defensive end Dante Fowler was ordered to pay a $280,000 fine for a 2017 parking lot altercation with another driver.
Dante allegedly grabbed the dude, hit the guy, knocked his glasses off, stepped on him, and then grabbed the dude's bag of newly purchased liquor and threw it into a nearby lake.
Now, you may remember Fowler did apologize for this incident way back in 2017 when he was with the Jaguars.
First, I would like to just start off by apologizing to the organization of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's just not me as a person. You know, I'm a better person than that.
Judging from Fowler's past, he's correct. This involvement in an altercation was uncharacteristic for him.
Dante Fowler is under scrutiny over this video that was made public online by TMZ Sports. It shows him refereeing a fight between two women.
See? Refereeing. Like inserting himself between the two women so things couldn't escalate, right? Right?
He acted as a referee as if he was inside some sort of boxing match.
Oh, and now I'm nervous to even ask, but who were these two women in this so-called boxing match Fowler was reffing?
Fowler can be seen standing with his girlfriend across from the mother of his child.
Serving as a ref for a fist fight between your girlfriend and your baby mama? NFL stars, they really are just like us. The only difference, you're allowed to bet on sports and they're not. So, friendly reminder to head over to thegameday.com for all of the best odds. Odd man out. On Wednesday night, ESPN will debut what it's calling a retrocast, a game between the Knicks and the Nets that will evoke broadcasts of years past. Now, there's still no word on if Marv Albert's toupee will make a cameo on Jeff Van Gundy's head. Now, this is not the NBA's first foray into retro, though. Back in 2007, Kobe and the Lakers came out in 80s-inspired short shorts for a game against the Celtics. But after the game, Kobe slammed the idea, saying, quote, "I felt violated. I felt naked." Which, considering the whole Colorado thing, you know, where Kobe was accused of sexual assault, was probably not how his PR team would have had him phrase it. These days, though, current athletes have also picked up on the retro trend in their personal lives, including the most fashion-conscious athlete on the planet, Cam Newton.
I want to be more of a thrift store shopper. I want to be more of a vintage shopper.
We've also recently seen old-school looks on big-time athletes, including Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Brandon Ingram, who all pulled off the vintage swag. But it's not for everyone.
It's an old saying that, swag isn't on you, swag is in you.
Swag is in you. There's also something Swaggy P says every time he makes love. But the number one guy who needs to hear this? Oh, my man Von Miller, seen here wearing a mesh trucker hat that retails for $250? Comment below if you can think of a dumber way to spend $250. And I'll send the person with the dumbest answer one of these dumb $250 hats. Now, as much as I like Vaughn, nay, love Vaughn, he is 100% the guy who rocks a t-shirt for a band he doesn't listen to because it's considered cool.
This is a Grateful Dead tour t-shirt from 2003. And I don't even listen to the Grateful Dead's music, but this is a cool t-shirt. It's a really cool t-shirt. This is a Pink Floyd shirt. And I just like the colors. And again, I don't even listen to Pink Floyd, but I like their merch.
Von Miller, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 1-time Super Bowl MVP, 8-time Pro Bowler, and comfortably numb with zero swag. Hey you, Vaughn, shine on, you crazy diamond. Go make that money, because it really is a gas. I have high hopes for you in Buffalo, but I really do wish you were here in Denver. Of course, since you don't actually listen to Pink Floyd, none of those references to their song titles will make any sense. All right, that's it for today from your fashion-forward host. Are we betting on baseball this year? I kind of think we are. Talk to you next week. Odd Man Sports.
It's in the game.